In today's video, I'm going to be showing you the step-by-step process you can use to set up Facebook ad testing campaigns in 2025 to find winners fast while cutting your wasted ad spend on creative testing by upwards of 50%. And this is exactly how we were able to test creatives quickly and find winners and scale this account from spending $78,000 to over $300,000 in a single month, increasing their spend by 300% while also increasing the total conversion volume by 260%. And this is the exact step-by-step process that you're going to learn that I've used to help brands make the jump from $70,000 a month to $900,000 a month, from $96K a month to $842,000 a month, working with brands like Caller, Manly Bands, and Just Ingredients, just to name a few. So without wasting any time, make sure you stick around to the end, because by the end, you're going to know the step-by-step process to setting up these kinds of campaigns, and so you can implement them into your business and start scaling up today. So without wasting any time, let's go ahead and jump straight into the video. So when it comes to scaling accounts, it all comes down to having the right mix of creatives in the account to produce the right CPAs for your business so you can increase the spend. Very simple. Now, you can't increase the spend until you have that portfolio of ads, until you do the testing to be able to understand what's working. I don't know why I just malfunctioned right there. To understand what's working. And when you have that portfolio of ads that are producing a profitable CPA for you, then it's all about just increasing the budget, finding the maximum limit that that portfolio can handle. And once you find the limit of that budget, reducing the budget back down, testing more creatives, and then spending more. The whole purpose of creative testing is to get more efficient so you can spend more. That is it. So when it comes to doing this, you want to set up your testing campaigns and your overall campaigns in a way where you allow Facebook to be the determinant of which ads should be getting spent and which ads should not be getting spent. So when we are inside of our ads manager, we're going to set up the campaign step by step, and I'll go ahead and show you using this example here. We're going to create a campaign, do a sales campaign, and we'll go ahead and do a manual sales campaign. The reason why we avoid Advantage Plus is because you can't create new ad sets on ASC. So you can call this whatever you want. I typically like to just call it CBO because this is a prospecting campaign. Usually put the product that I'm running, so product name. And I usually put the bidding strategy as well. So lowest cost or cost cap. Today we're going to be using lowest cost, and then I usually put the countries that I'm targeting as well. Okay, super simple naming conventions. Use whatever you want. Now, when you're setting up the testing campaign, you're going to make sure you choose Advantage Campaign Budget. Go to $100 or whatever budget that you have. I typically would not recommend anything less than $100, otherwise you're just not moving quick enough. So once you have Advantage Budget on, you're going to go ahead and go to Website. Make sure you select Maximize Number of Conversions. Make sure you select the pixel. And for the ad set, you're just going to call this the audience title plus your batch number. And we'll get into the batch number here in a second, but essentially you want to be launching your creatives in groups or batches, and you want to group them based on specific angles or specific concepts, formats, etc. So this is going to be my first batch of creatives that I'm launching. So we're going to call this broad, and then batch 001. We have maximize conversions, our pixel selected for conversion event. Unless you want anything else outside of purchases, then you can select that. For me, 100% of the time it's going to be maximizing for purchases. For the attribution settings, we're using 7-day click, 1-day view. And then we're going to scroll down. We're going to leave dynamic creative turned off. If you have a newer ad account, you're probably not seeing dynamic creative, so don't worry about that. Then for the audience controls, I use Advantage Plus audience, so I'm not doing any changes in the ages. I'm not using interests, completely broad targeting. And then I'm selecting my countries here. Typically going to do one campaign per country. So for this, I'm going to leave this as the US. We're leaving Advantage Plus audience, and then we're using automatic placements as well. And that is everything for the ad set setup. Then for the ad level is where we'll start to actually add in our creatives. So typically I'll use the moniker of batch 001 and then whatever video that we're running. As you can see, it can get pretty extensive. So I'll typically put the batch number, which video this is. Let's say it's video 1. We'll put typically if it's like UGC or if it's high res, basically the content style. We'll put the value proposition in here as well. And then typically the landing page, so we know where this is going. And this is pretty much all the information that you would need from an ad name, in my opinion, to understand what the ad actually is and where the traffic is being sent to. So once you're here in the ad level, we're going to go into our ad setup, and we're going to uncheck multi-advertiser ads. Now, if you have a bunch of variations that you want to test for an individual concept, select flexible. If you only have 1 to 3 variations of videos, or let's say you only have one video or one image that you want to test, we're going to use single image or video for this as well. So flexible if you have multiple variations, single image or video if you only have like 1 or 2. Now, one thing to note is that with flexible, you can't actually see, or if you don't know what a flexible it is, it's basically a scenario where you give Facebook 10 images or 10 videos or 10 images and videos, and you allow Facebook to determine which combination of those images and videos and texts in form of ad copy and headline get shown to the person. So basically has all these possible combinations, and you give all the autonomy, I think is the word, to Facebook to determine which combinations are the best. Now, you can't actually see what those combinations are on a flexible, so it's very important if you are interested in seeing the data on individual images and videos that you do not select flexible and you go with single image only. So we're going to set this up using a single image or a video. Now we're going to, for our website URL, you're going to add in the URL for your product, google.com. And now obviously that is not my website. I wish, because I'd be very rich. But so we're going to add in our URL, and then we're going to go ahead and add in our creatives. Now I'm going to add in some example creatives, or some creatives on my side. Now I'm not actually running these, so it's just going to be for the purposes of example. Let me see if I have some example ads here in this account. So let's go with these 3, or let's go with this one right here. Okay, so we're going to uncheck the flexible media. Image generation, we're going to skip that. And then for all of the Advantage Plus creative enhancements, you always want to turn those off. You have to be very careful with that, because if you scroll down, you'll actually see the Advantage Plus creative options, and Facebook doesn't allow you to turn all of them off when you're initially adding in the image. So you have to manually scroll down, and then you have to check all the optimizations and then uncheck them. I personally never run these just because I think they just make my creative look stupid. So we'll go ahead and save that. I'm sure that will get better with time, but for now, just makes my creative look stupid. Then we're going to add in our primary text. Now, typically, I'm running a dynamic creative optimization, so DCO, and I'm going to add in multiple text options per concept, right? So I have ad copy 1, ad copy 2, then headline 1, headline 2. Feel free to max these out if you have all 5 variations or 5 primary texts that you want to run. Go for it. I find the majority of the time, 80% of your creative results or your ad results are going to come from the image, and the remaining 20% is influenced by the primary text and headline. So don't obsess over these too much. This is your big needle mover. As you can see, just purely from the canvas size, what people are going to pay attention to the most is what's happening on here, followed by maybe your headline if they're on Facebook feed, but if not, you're not even going to see the headline on Instagram. So that would be the first line of copy. So first line of copy and headline are really the 2 areas you want to focus on. The rest of it is honestly not as important. So once you have that set up, this is going to be our first batch of creatives. So what happens when you have a second batch of creatives that you want to test? Very simple. You're just going to quick duplicate the original ad set and name this batch number 2. Very, very simple. Then you're going to go in and add in all of your videos. So let's say I have, or let's say this time I'm going to be doing images, right? And let's say this time these are all UGC. Let's say for the value proposition, we're focusing on getting rid of back pain. And then for the landing page, we'll say this is going to, let's say, product page, right? For product, right? Okay, so purely hypothetical example, but essentially when you're creating these campaigns, let's go into our campaign here, right? When you want to test new creatives, you're going to launch new creatives in the form of new ad sets inside of a CBO campaign. Now, if you are on a brand new account or you're launching Facebook ads for the first time, then this is going to be your setup. You create a CBO campaign. All of your new ads that you have to test, you're going to group them by specific angles, specific formats, or specific concepts. Each of them go segmented into their own ad sets. So angle 1 could go into batch 1, angle 2 could go into batch 2. From there, you create the ads. If you have a bunch of variations that you want to text, go flexible. If you don't have as many variations, then you can just do single image or video and then add in your videos or images, your ad copy, and your headline. Now, if you already have existing ads in your ad account and you've been running ads for a while and you have successful ads, the next step that you're going to take before you actually go live with this campaign is to create a winners ad set. And this winners ad set, or you could call it a high performance ad set, is going to be the ad set that contains your best performing ads over the maximum time frame of your ad account. So go on the maximum time frame, filter by amount spent, find the ads that have spent the most money and generated the best CPAs for you. Take 3 to 5 of those post IDs and throw them into a winners ad set. So we'll go ahead and call this winners. You can call it high performers, whatever term that you like. And we're basically going to keep these monikers the same. Only thing we're going to do is add the post ID right here. If you want to figure out how to get the post ID, or you want to know what the post ID is, a post ID is essentially a way for you to preserve and duplicate ads while preserving the social proof, the comments, the engagement on the ad post itself. And it's very important you do that because all of that engagement gives you more favorable ad rank in the auctions because Facebook loves user engagement. So now your setup should essentially be anywhere from 2 to 5 test ad sets at any given point running and a set of winners ad sets. So your cadence here is to launch new unproven assets in the form of new ad sets, and you want to have them compete for spend against your winner ad sets or your winning ads. If you don't yet have proven profitable ads, then you're not going to create the winners ad set just yet. You're going to create this once you find some proven winners after you go through your batch testing. But if you already have a established account, you're going to create the winners ad set with your best performing ads, and you're going to launch all of your new ads against these winners. The reason why this is so effective and why this allows you to find winners fast while cutting the wasted ad spend is because in a CBO campaign or advantage campaign budget, the ad budget is distributed across all of the ad sets, and the allocation of budget is biased towards the groups of ads that are going to get you the best possible results in accordance with your campaign bid strategy. And for us, that's going to be conversions at the highest volume or value, right? So whatever performance goal that you're setting, and depending on the bid strategy, is what Facebook is optimizing for. So I have a saying, where the spend goes, profit flows, because it is in Facebook's best interest, based on the settings that you set, the performance goal and the bid strategy, to spend the money where it's likely to generate you the best possible outcomes. Facebook will only spend on creatives if they are likely to generate the best possible outcome, or I should say spend on creatives over other creatives. So the reason why it's important that you do your creative testing in a CBO environment where any unproven ads or new ads compete for spend against the winners is that they will only get spend, your new ads will only get spend if they're better than the winners. If they're not better than the winners, then you preserve the health of your ad account, the consistency and the performance of your ad account. Because if those ads suck ass, which 99% of the time, unfortunately, they're going to suck ass, your spend is always going towards the winners. If you have a separate ABO campaign and you force budget onto unproven ads, you're exposing your ad account and your business to a disproportionate amount of downside. And it's not worth it when you could be doing it in a CBO environment where all of your ad spend is always going to go to the best possible investment. And when you launch unproven ads in this way, if they're not a better investment, your winners get the spend. So worst case scenario, new creatives don't get spend and your performance is preserved. Best case scenario, new creatives get spend and they actually improve the performance because they're a better opportunity of investment than your winning ads. And this is the setup. At any given point in time, you should always have a CBO campaign with your top performing ads in one isolated ad set, and you launch new ad sets with new creatives to compete for spend against the winners. You judge performance of your account purely based on the campaign metrics. Your campaign CPA and your campaign ROAS, but really your campaign CPA is the end all be all North Star performance metric for your ad account. If you launch new ad sets and they take spend from winners and they improve the CPA of your campaign, that is a winning batch and you can scale further. If you launch new ad sets and they take spend and they decrease performance in your campaign, then obviously the new creatives that you inserted are the only variable that changed. And so they're hurting performance, hurting campaign CPA, so you can pause them. But everything you do is judged based on the campaign metrics. You're inserting these new variables. You're giving Facebook more ammunition to spend and more shots on goal to find you customers. And in so doing, you remove so much manual work on your side and so much manual measuring that is honestly so far beneath Facebook's capabilities to predict user behavior. So leave it to Facebook. launch new ad sets against your winning ads, and allow Facebook to allocate the spend accordingly to what's most likely to generate you the best possible outcome. If you do this consistently, launching new ad sets against your winners, it is only a matter of time until you find that combination of creatives, you find that winning portfolio that will allow you to produce the right CPA where you can increase the budget and scale your campaign. And when you're scaling, it is very, very simple. Scaling is a very easy process. This is the difficult part, which is testing, creating new content consistently, and testing in your ad account in such a way where you're maximizing the performance of your campaign. So that is going to do it for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, if you got a ton of value out of this, then make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in having me run your ads for you and helping you generate results like these, and you're a brand that's doing at least $100,000 a month on Shopify, then check out the first link in the description. Otherwise, hope you got a ton of value out of this as always, and I will catch you in the next video. Peace.